In China, you can still find some beautiful, not so touristic places, but they're not that easy to find. But today, we're gonna show you one of them. Hi, we're Vera and Lee, and we are on a mission to explore the world through its food. And in this season, we will take you to explore the Yunnan region in China. As one of our last stops, we came to the beautiful town of Jianshui. Sorry for my pronunciation. This is still in the Yunnan province, but we're already very close to the Vietnamese border. This town is not very touristic and also not very famous, but it is very well known for, first, its tofu, and second of all, because a lot of good students many years ago were coming from this town. After traveling through the Yunnan province for the last 2 weeks and visiting popular places like Lijiang or Dali, we fell in love with the culture, the beautiful ancient towns and the local food. So now we wanted to find a place that is more off the beaten path, a place that not many have heard of and that still preserves its authenticity. And I think that we found exactly this in Jianshui. The town is located in southern Yunnan, and you can reach it easily by train when coming from Kunming or even Vietnam. The town itself is quiet, slow, and full of stories. Jianshui has over 1,200 years of history, dating back to the Tang Dynasty. The stone streets have that worn-down look that only comes from generations of footsteps. The first thing that you will see in every shop here is the pottery. It is also called the purple pottery from Jianshui and is one of China's most historic ceramic traditions. And although it's called purple pottery, it actually can come in various different colors: purple, red, yellow, white, and cyan. In these towns, the education is very, very important. Although these towns are very remote, Jianshui and also Shuping, in both towns you can find a Confucius temple. In fact, this is the second largest Confucius temple in the entire country of China. The entry fee was about 5 euros, so 40 yuan. Confucius was a philosopher, teacher, and political thinker who lived over 2,500 years ago. His ideas have shaped Chinese and East Asian culture for more than 2,000 years now, and still influences East Asian societies, particularly in ethics, family values, and social harmony.
The largest Confucius temple in China is located in the Shandong province, which is the home province of Confucius himself. And it's a bit crazy to think that the second largest temple is located here in Jianshui, in quite a remote city. Here you can see the importance of education and the teaching of Confucius in this area. The civil servant exams were super important in the imperial times of China. Actually, I think the modern European states took the idea of the civil servant exams from the imperial China. They were standardized exams that guaranteed there's equal opportunity for the entire population. Well, at least the population who could afford some kind of education. So it was a huge opportunity for people from remote and poor areas of the empire. And these two towns, Jianshui and Shiping, they produced a disproportionate number of good students, which gained a position in the government.
So the temple and the garden was beautiful, and I think it was well worth it to come here and to learn a little bit more about Confucius and just to walk around a little bit in this peaceful atmosphere. Oh, and I really like that they have a lot of these hand wash stations in several centers of cities. I don't know if they had it already before COVID, but I think that's a very good idea. We spent a few days here, exploring the old streets, trying local food, and meeting some of the people who keep its traditions alive, just like this lovely artist. When we passed by his small cafe, I immediately felt the need to stop by, try his coffee and get to know him better. He shared with us his story, and he even makes his own coffee blend, which was delicious. When we were in Shanghai, I said it's kind of hard to find nice local cafes, and there's more these big brands and chains that you can go to. But here in the Yunnan province, there's so many cute and beautiful cafes, basically anywhere where we went. So maybe in other towns and cities that are not Shanghai or Beijing, it is similar. But I'm very happy that we found these small places with these very special owners, usually very special places. And I like exploring this. So I think that the Yunnan region is very, very magical for me. Because you still have the old towns that they're calling here ancient cities that are very historic and beautiful, and you can find lots of small shops that are selling handicrafts, like local handicrafts for very reasonable prices, and you don't find these same shops with the same industrial wear everywhere. So I think it's still a beautiful place to be and to visit. The next stop on our list was the part of the city that is famous for its tofu making. Here in Jianshui, they have an ancient well in the town that local people still use as fresh water supply, but also to make tasty tofu. And here you can see how everyone is taking water out of here. They come with their own bottles or plastic storages and just refill them there. And they are very careful with the hygiene. So water that was taken out once was not allowed to be put back. The water is very rich in minerals, which give them a unique flavor and soft texture. The locals still use a very traditional process, which includes soaking, grinding, boiling, curdling, and pressing soybeans by hand, which I think is incredible. We could observe several ladies doing this work behind open doors. It has to be a very tough job doing this every day, but the tofu was really amazing. One of the town's specialties is grilled tofu, and in every restaurant you can see the locals sitting directly around the small grill and eating their tofu and grilled vegetable. It's a must-try street food if you're ever in Jianshui, so of course we had to get some. Usually served with a spicy dipping sauce, crispy on the outside and soft inside.
It's actually fermented, so it has a quite strong aroma to it and quite strong taste. It reminds me a lot of the mountain cheese from Zakopane in Poland, and they really have a similar aroma to it. It's crazy, like two things from two completely different places of the world shares a similar aroma. So here we have our rice noodles, huge bowls, and the lady told us that we can eat any kind of noodles, and as much as we want we can cook it ourselves. Yeah, it's the typical lunch in Yunnan province. It's like the ramen in Japan or ramen in central China. We ate it like 3 times every day.
First we could choose our noodles, and usually they come in different thickness levels, and you can just choose one that you like and put it in the boiling water. The broth is usually prepared in the kitchen and just handed over to you so that you can put in the rice noodles. finally, it comes my favorite part. You get to choose what you want to have on top. It can be cilantro, it can be spices, it can be pickles, whatever you like. And ta-da! Now you have your monster bowl ready. Oh, and you have free refill. That means if you still have some broth left and you would still like some more noodles, you can just get some. Look how beautiful this dish is, and it's just the perfect lunch menu. After the super tasty rice noodles, we also tried the local dessert, which is prepared with papaya juice. It was extremely sweet and had a particular taste. So it was not really for me. Vamos? In the middle of the city, you can find this beautiful big garden that was once owned by a family that was very rich. But nowadays you can visit it as a tourist, and it costs 35 yuan entry fee, which is about 4 or 5 euros. This garden was beautifully decorated, had several stone bridges crossing the water, and was just a great way to find a very relaxing spot in the city. Incredible to think that this once was owned by only one family, and they had to build and plant all of this by themselves. Back in the old days, Jianshui served as an important political and cultural center in southern Yunnan. And you can still see that it was a very important town. Just look at these buildings. They are beautiful and full of memories. And nowadays it is very peaceful here. Everything moves a little bit slower. And you also start to slow down with it. At the end of the day, we took a Didi ride outside of the town. Locals told us that we should go there to see the sunset, and it did get quite packed around the sunset hour, but we found our private little place to enjoy the moment in silence. But since the lights are also getting very nice in the old town itself, we decided to head back to enjoy the rest of the day walking through the streets. We really liked visiting Jianshui. It is not really touristic, nor it gets very busy. But this is exactly what we wanted to find, an authentic, ancient town where we can see the day-to-day life of locals. If you are interested in these kinds of experiences, you might want to add it to your Yunnan trip. We hope you liked the video. Please subscribe to our channel if you did, and we see us in the next one, which will be a completely different place. Bye bye!